I started back in February 2009. Worked here in Orlando. We shared a wall. Did everything together, right?
This is Grant Kuvin. As Grant said, I hired him about 8.5 years ago from a defense firm. Grant was one of, I guess, probably 10 or 15 young lawyers that I brought through here in the medical malpractice group, and probably one or two that I'm the proudest of for where he started and where he's come, and the quality of the work that he does for us.
He used to do defense work, so when I switched, it was all new to me. And I started with him back in 2009, and he helped me to figure out how to flip the script and do the opposite and be a plaintiff's attorney.
He is one of the most inquisitive lawyers that I've ever had work for me. And I mean that in a good way. Grant has questions, but his question begs the next question and the next question and the next question. And he is a guy who is absolutely insatiable when it comes to learning. As a lawyer, as a trial lawyer, the two words I would use for him are tenacious and relentless. When Grant gets his teeth into you, they sink deep and they hurt.
I think we do a very good job here of bucking the trend, and I think a lot of the older attorneys here, they come into work every day, full schedule, and have trials like, most people wouldn't have at that age or stage of their career. So I think that's the stereotype. I think the stereotype is they haven't changed with the times.
My favorite shortcut was I just walk into Grant's office and ask him to do it.
I think you did that really well. I would come into your office and I would ask you about an issue in a case and a medical diagnosis of some sort. And the first question you'll ask me is, did you Google it? And I'll of course say no, because I'm impulsive, and I walk in and ask you for the answer before researching it. And he'll spin around in his chair and I love it, you said this, it's more like this, at the computer. And out pops of his printer everything I just asked him about. So I think from whatever website you end up after searching through the different areas, but whatever you end up on, you have the answer because you've used Google or the internet to research it. So I think you've done a good job adapting. Better than the younger age group, right? I could have done that myself, but I didn't.
I wasn't going to point that out, but John's book, one of his books says you can't teach vision. Well, having vision and implementing vision are two different things, and we're the perfect, I think, marriage of vision to see it and vision and ability to implement that vision, which is the younger part of our law firm. The people that go out and implement those changes and help push, from the bottom up. There's lots of ways to drag a business forward. The people at the top can drag it on their backs forever, or the people at the bottom can be down there at the bottom pushing the guys at the top to pull harder. And I think we have a beautiful marriage of all of that, with some really talented people right in the middle that started out at the bottom pushing hard and are getting ready to get to the top and be the pullers, not the pushers. But between the pullers and the pushers, we've got an engine that moves forward at I think warp speed sometimes. It's probably how I would say it best.